This was my whole identity. I was like a rave girl.
Yeah.
And then I started like getting into selling all of those things and having boyfriends who sold all of the things. And that was like my rock bottom the first time.
Yeah.
Was when I was living with one of my boyfriends and his house got raided and I was there and I got wrapped up into all of that.
Yeah.
And that was when I had my first experience being sober. But I mean, why I did it, I think it was really to prove that like I'm better than that. And I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic and I don't have to be.
And that's a slippery slope most people fall into. Now, you said something that I think really I want to point out, which is identity. That was your identity. Do you think that you were searching for an identity growing up? Like you didn't have... Yeah. I think identity crisis is something that, and I mean, with the psychology background, you can run laps around me with this, but I think that one thing that I've dealt with my whole life is identity stuff. Like ever since I was a little kid, part of it was we moved around a lot, right? I mean, Boston, Wisconsin, Montana, Alaska, Oregon, and then I moved around a lot, you know, on my own. You know, it's really hard to nail down an identity on like, this is who I am when you're not really tied to one place or one group or whatever. Like, you know, people always ask me, where are you from? And I always say Boston because that's the only like consistent place in my life. Like every summer was there, lived there on and off my whole life. But, you know, really it's like, it's hard to answer. And growing up, I really felt like I had to tie into some sort of group or, you know, something, right? Yeah. So, you know, when I was younger, I gravitated towards like, you know, crime and drug dealers and gang members. And I thought that was cool. And then as I got older, it became like military, police, you know, business. And one thing that I realized is I had this identity. Yeah. Well, when I got sober, you know, definitely, and that's another thing too, is your identity becomes like, oh, I'm this beer connoisseur. No, you're an alcoholic. Yeah. You know, like, no, I just really love whiskey. I just love it so much, you know, but no, it's like, call it what it is. But the identity crisis, I think, is something because people want to belong. People want to feel, at the end of the day, it comes down to, I think, they want to feel unconditional love and they want to feel like they belong. And most people don't feel like they belong. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I grew up forced. At the time, I was forced to go to church, forced to do all of the things, and that was not who I felt that I was. So then I graduated high school and had no idea who I was.
Right.
And then I found raving and was like, unconditional love and all of these people, and you go to raves and it's like, because everybody's on Molly.
Yeah, of course they love each other.
Exactly.
Try the next day when all their endorphins are completely blown out and they're in the worst depression ever. Yeah.
So that. Yeah, it gave me something to connect to, like a group to be with. And I repped it hard. I had all the gear and I wore all my whatever. Like,
well, one thing that you've mentioned to me too is when you first tried to get sober, like before, when you were sober for a long time, as you said, you drank the Kool-Aid and then you became all in there.
Yeah,
so
100%.
That was your tribe. That was your, and look, I think now like your belonging is here in this company. And you know, I mean, we have a good like company
culture
totally. And core values, and we all kind of look out for each other, and we're all really close here.
Yeah.
And even with Donald's company being upstairs, and Donald used to work here, you know, we're all kind of intermingle and we've got our own thing going on, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that there's a lot of that like belonging and needing to find that bigger picture.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. If you like content like this, go to the description below. The full video should be there. And do not forget to like and subscribe. 97% of the people that watch this channel are unsubscribed. So please hit that subscribe button. It does a lot for the channel and it gives you more content like this. Have a good one. Bye.